Good morning, good morning. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Just give it a minute or two, let some people get in here before we start. Good morning, Amber. What's going on? What's going on, Harry? Good morning, brother. Good morning, good morning. Just give me a second, we'll jump right into it. Hope everybody had a great weekend this weekend. Back to the daily grind. Okay. Let's start with AMD, guys. As you can see, it gapped down a little bit, so there is a gap to fill right at previous day high. So keep that in mind. Right here, I put a price alert. That's where the 200 EMA is. Good morning. Good morning. So honestly, I'm gonna look for the gap fill reversal on AMD right around previous day high. That's what I would be looking for. Get on the hustle. Let's go. Good morning, Rosebud. Good morning. Okay, so I'm gonna look for the gap fill reversal. Obviously, it gapped down this morning, but it's still above the 9 on the 1-hour chart. So look for that for the reversal at previous day high. That's where if it fills the gap, shows signs of reversal. You want to see it show signs of weakness and then ride it down. But if it gets above previous day high, obviously it could run a little bit. Let's go jump to the daily real quick on AMD. So this is a big area right here at 71.70. So I will look for a rejection there as well. So let me give you price targets real quick. Okay, so that's what I would look for, guys, is the gap fill reversal and then downside. There's a gap right here to be filled all the way down at 65.50. There's also a gap below at 63.95. So just keep that in mind, that there definitely are gaps below that need to be filled. And like I said, 93% of gaps get filled over time, whether it be a year, a day, a month, whatever, 10 minutes, an hour. So for me, I love trading. Taking trades near previous day high or previous day low. In the middle of the channel, I try to stay away from it. So, that's just me personally. I just like to use previous day high, previous day low. That's part of the strategy that I use. So I'm always looking for stocks that are around previous day high, previous day low. It's just a good range. But so for the calls, let me see. So obviously we had to be above previous day high for the calls, guys. So I'm going to say 71.22. And my first price target would be right here at 71.40. Yeah, that looks pretty good. 71.40. And then my next price target would be 71.90. And then my next price target would be right here at 72.37 for the upside for the calls. Now for the puts, guys, obviously I want to see it reject off a gap fill. Just keep that in mind. But here's the 200 right here. I put a little alert there so I know where it is, the 200 on the 5-minute, because obviously the 200 is big support or resistance. I trade off of the 5-minute chart. It's just the way I do it because I'm a scalper in and out. But so for puts, like I said, just look for it to break down. It might do it before the market even opens. Just keep an eye on it. So for puts, to be safe, honestly, it would have to be like 70.03 would be my put trigger. My first price target would be right here at 69.78. My next price target would be right here. And guys, look, if you see right here, you see the, look at this wick right here. Now look to the left. See how it lines up perfectly? So that would be my next price target at 69.28, which is right above previous day low. And then my next price target would be right here at 68.69. 68.69. So that's for AMD. Let's go to Amazon real quick. Amazon is looking really pretty strong. Let's go to the 5-minute real quick. See where the 200 is. I'll put an alert right there. Obviously, that's a big area of support. See how it bounced right here. You always look to the left. See how it bounced right here at the 200. Again, right here. So the 200 EMA on every time frame is a huge support or resistance. So that's just the way I like to do it. I want to know where it is. Even though I'm on the hourly chart, I want to know where it is on the 5-minute as well. It's just something that I like to do, so I know exactly where it is. Right now, Amazon's above previous day high. Previous day low is way down here. There's some gaps to fill down here as well, you know. So just keep that in mind. There's a gap all the way down here at 89 and 85. Man, this thing looks. It is overbought on the hourly time frame. Good morning, Venus. Hey, if you guys could like the stream, I really appreciate it. Let's see on the daily, guys. Let's see something. Okay, so there's big resistance right here at 101.35 on Amazon. On the daily, let's jump to the 4-hour chart. It's just at that do or die point, so you want to see it, you know, make previous day high support for the next leg up. If not, it's going to, you know, if it fails to break it, obviously you enter below previous day high, and previous day high will be your stop. So just keep that in mind. Let's see. So try to give you guys some price targets and alerts. Let me see. So I'm gonna say for the calls, give me 1 second, guys. I want to look back real quick. Okay. Just go off of this. So for the calls, I would say 99.27 would be my call trigger. My next first price target would be right here at 188. That would be my first. My next price target would be right here at 102.49. Then my next price target would be 104.56, guys. 104.56. As you can see on the 4-hour chart, it did get above the 200, and it did make its support. So obviously, it went above it, got rejected, tested it, made it support, and now it's taking its next leg up. Doesn't mean it's going to stay support. So just keep that in mind. For the put trigger, jump back over to the hourly. It's just, I like to use the hourly because that's just how I am. Obviously, if it rejects previous day high, my put trigger would be right here at 97.64. My first price target would be the 200 on the 5-minute, which is 96.60. My next price target would be right here at 95.48. And then my very last price target would be right here. Guys, you could just, I'm just going off of the candles, the bases, the wicks, where they all line up. 94.21, guys, 94.21. So, like I said, just look to the left. It'll tell you what it did before, and you could just base it off of those candles. Let's go to Apple. Apple's looking strong. On the 1-hour chart, it's got the buy signal, no cross of the EMAs, and then it got the sell signal, sorry, no cross of the EMAs, and then the buy signal. Usually, that's part of our strategy. You would enter after this candle closes and ride it up. So obviously it's on an uptrend. Let's go to the 5-minute real quick. I want to see where the 200 is. Put a price alert there so I know where it is. Go back to the hourly chart, and we are pumping right now, so on Apple. And if Apple keeps going up, it can move the market up as well, so keep that in mind. Also, guys, we use the VIX and the DXY because obviously it's inverse SPY. There's a lot of resistance right here at 135.73, so that's an area to look for. As you can see, it broke above. See what I mean? Got above the 200, but couldn't make it support. Came back, tested it, made it support. It had a nice little pump, got rejected, tested it again, and made it support for the next leg up. You always want to look for stuff like that on the later time frames. So even in the shorter time frames, you want to see, obviously, if it breaks a big level like that, like the 200 EMA, you want to see it always come back and test it and make it support. Just because it breaks through it doesn't mean it's support. You know, it could have a nice little run like this and then just die. So just keep that in mind. So obviously, there's resistance at 135.73. 135.73. So for me to go calls, guys, it would obviously have to be above that because it's so close to it. So 135.73. I'm gonna say calls right here at 136.20 just to be safe. My first price target would be right here, 136.67. My next price target would be right here at 137.30. I'm sorry guys if I'm moving fast. And then my last price target would be right here at 137.68. Now if you guys see it get rejected right here, so it's right in between the resistance and previous day high, so I would definitely be watching it right here. So if it gets rejected at 135.73, obviously where's the next support? Previous day high. Okay, so if you see it, I would just stay away from it. If you see it get above the 135.73, calls. If you see it, you know, get rejected here, you could try to ride it down with puts, but honestly I would just stay away to see if it makes this area support right here at 134. That's a nice range though. So if you see it come up here, get rejected, try to ride it down to previous day high. If it makes previous day high support, and you know, it could bounce and then go back up. If you see it breaking below it, then obviously it's just going to have a nice, there should be some nice downside to it. Let me see if there's any gaps to fill below real quick, guys. I'm not seeing any on the hourly chart, so I'm sure there are on other time frames. But so for puts, obviously it's going to be, you know, try to watch it. You know, things change in the market. I give you these price targets and alerts, but just realize that, you know, the market changes so quickly. Even from the time that I give it to you, a lot of things could happen. Obviously the squeeze indicator is squeezing the TTM. Look at it squeezing to the upside, so just keep that in mind. But like I said, so obviously put trigger would be 134.82. 134.82. My next price target would be 134.57. My next price target would be 134.08, and then my last price target would be the 200 at 133.73. Good morning. But it does look strong right now. That's a nice strong candle breaking out a previous day high. So the next, you know, like I said, just look for you know, to go short at 135.73. But the squeeze indicator is squeezing. It is squeezing to the upside. So black to red to black to green, it means that it's firing to the upside. So just keep that in mind. Now also it could fire to the upside and then fire to the downside. So it's just something you got to keep an eye on. Apple, I'm going to be watching for sure. I'm going to put in a price alert right here. Let me know. And then I'm going to put another price alert right here, right before previous day high, because I'll be probably watching Tesla today. Let's jump to Tesla. Obviously, there's a gap down here at 122.14. See the 200 on the 1 hour? It's at that do or die area point. Let me jump over here. I'm going to put a price alert right here at 200 on the 5 minute. I want to know where it is when I'm doing my call and put triggers. So there is a gap to be filled down here. So, and there is a gap all the way down here to be filled at 112. Like I said, 93% of gaps get filled over time. Good morning, Lee. So yeah, look, it looks like a nice rejection off the 200. Let me see something real quick. Okay, so Be watching Tesla heavy today. For the calls, I would say right here, right here, 126.75 call trigger. Put a price alert there so I don't have to, you know, when I type it in the Discord. My first price target would be right here. Look at how all the candles line up to the left. 127.93 would be my next price target. My next price target after that would be right here at 129. That's the only price targets I'm going to give to the upside, guys. 129.73. Now look at it rejecting off the 200. Now it might, like I said, it might come down here and use this as support, so you want to watch it. Put trigger. Just give me a second here. Let me see. It's so far extended above previous day high that, you know, it's in that no man's land. It could go up, it could go down, it could just chop sideways. So I'm gonna say put trigger at, there's a lot of support right there, so I want to kind of go below it a little bit. Right here at 124.68. First price target obviously would be right here at 123.99. My next price target will be right here, 123.35. And then my next price target will be, and that's pretty much pre-gap fill, guys, so I'll be looking for a bounce here if it makes it there. Obviously pre-gap fill, there's a lot of support right here, so there's going to be times where you see a gap up, come back about to fill the gap, but makes that pre-gap fill support and then bounces. So, and then, you know, obviously previous day high, if it gets the previous day high would be my next support right here at 122.59. So let's go over Meta real quick. Meta has that nice M shape. You see that M-ish pattern, guys. It looks pretty bearish right now, but we'll have to see. There's a gap above to be filled. I'm sure there's a gap below. No Meta. There's a gap all the way down here at 120.60. It's been on a nice little run, Meta. It was beaten down so bad, but it does have that nice M-ish pattern. You can see the M clear as day. Most of the time it does work out, sometimes it don't. It's just something to keep in mind. As you can see, look at the stochastic. Everything's pointing down on Meta. So I would just watch it. Watch for the gap fill reversal. And that would be more towards previous day high. You might get a gap fill, test previous day high. Then obviously every time it gets right here, it gets rejected, rejected, rejected for the last 2 days. So just keep that in mind. So look for the gap fill and then the reversal to the downside. Like I said, it has that beautiful M pattern. And you don't solely base it off of that, but sometimes you just can't unsee it. And most of the time it does play out, whether it be an M pattern, you know, W-ish pattern. It's just something I like to keep in mind when I see it. I say, okay, you know, M pattern forming, W pattern forming. I'm not going to give any price alerts on Meta. I believe Jim in the Discord already gave price alerts and targets. So that's it for today, guys. Does anybody have any questions? You guys got any stocks you want me to go over before I cut it off? So I could jump to the Discord and give some price alerts in there. Anybody? If you guys want price alerts on a stock, just type it in the chat and I'll take care of you guys. No, guys. No questions. No stocks you want to go over. Well, if not, guys, have a good day. Stay green, stay disciplined, and have them price targets and stop losses. Baba, I'll go over Baba for you. I used to have Baba on my watch list. So obviously there's a gap down here to be filled at 113.15. Let's see where the 200 is. Okay, so the 200's right here. So I'll put a price alert right here. This is just so I could see it on the hourly chart where the 5 is. Let's see something. It's been on a nice little uptrend. It's obviously in overbought territory on the 4-hour chart. Obviously the 1 hour is not in there, but as you can see, everything's kind of curling over. So obviously to go long, it would have to be above previous day high. Hasn't been this high in a long time. I used to play Baba all the time around 121. That's a good area to short. I just know that because Baba used to always run up in the pre-market and then give up all its gains. And it did that multiple times in the past when I used to play it. So, obviously if you want to go long above previous day high, which would be like 118.18, that would be your call trigger. It's just so overbought. It's so overbought, even on the daily look. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a nice pullback. Like I said, look to the left. Always look to the left, guys. There's there's a little gap to be filled right here at 120. 120.56. Look to the left. Look how it always gets toppy here. Dies. Comes up, toppy, dies. So just keep that in mind. Not saying it will. It could be overbought or oversold for a long period of time. The squeeze indicator is squeezing to the upside, as you could see. Oh, sorry. See how it's squeezing to the upside? But it is overbought. So I would do 1.8 over previous. Oh wow, it's way up here. Yeah, it's getting rejected at previous day high. So obviously this looks like a good short. Look at all the wicks to the top. Look to the left, wick. So if it gets above previous day high, like I said, it'll probably from 118.20 would be the call trigger. My price target would be probably 120.64 to the gap fill, and then look for the reversal there. If it keeps breaking down, if it gets below, 116.35, then obviously look for the short. There's a gap to fill right here. So it looks more downside to me, but it is riding the 9 EMA up. But all these wicks have me, I'd be looking for a short. But just wait for confirmation, guys. There's no rush. Make sure that, make sure a confirmation's there. Try not to get into positions until you have the confirmation. Don't jump into a position. That does look weak though. So for puts, obviously I would go puts at I'm gonna say 116.03. My first price target would be right here. See how it all tops out together? Right here at 115.42. My next price target would be pre-gap fill, which would be 114.07, and then which is previous day low. So look for a bounce there for pre-gap fill and previous day low, and then the next price target obviously is down here at 113.15, and that would be the gap fill. So yes, good morning, Chuckles. Discipline is so key, guys. Try not to just wait for confirmation. 90% of trading is just waiting for the setup to come to you. Don't FOMO. Don't try to be biased if it's going up or going down. Just be patient and let the trades come to you. But have a good morning, guys. Stay green. If you guys want, we're doing a 30-day free trial to the Discord. You'll get indicators, call-outs, live. We trade live on voice every morning at market open. If there's any other question, guys, type it in the chat. If not, I'm going to jump off here and get to the Discord and put out some price alerts on Tesla and probably Amazon. Alright, guys, I'm going to jump off here and stay green, guys. Stay disciplined, stay green. and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. For the people, I'll see you in the Discord. I'll see you guys in the Discord. Have a good one, guys.